It's 2021 and the world has changed. However, the magnificence of Earth's most secretive areas remains. These spots are saturated with history and legend and make for entrancing photos. Some which are effectively available have become traveler feeds, while the ones that are more diligently to reach remain to some degree covered up away, with the exception of a progression of pictures taken and posted online by a courageous voyager. On this rundown are only a portion of the baffling spots all throughout the planet, a few so uncommonly staggering that it's difficult to accept the pictures are genuine. Number 10, Rakotzbrücke. The charming Rakotzbrücke is any Instagrammer's fantasy. This man-made, semicircle connect is situated in Kromlau Park, Saxony, Germany, and has been given the epithet Fiend's Bridge due to the legendary stories encompassing it. The extension has gotten broadly well known over ongoing years in light of the deception of an ideal circle made when it reflects the perfect path in the lake underneath, giving it a really other common look. The captivating Rakotzbrücke is any Instagrammer's fantasy. This man-made, semicircle connect is situated in Kromlau Park, Saxony, Germany, and has been given the moniker Fiend's Bridge due to the legendary stories encompassing it. The extension has gotten generally famous over late years on account of the dream of an ideal circle made when it reflects the perfect path in the lake underneath, giving it a genuinely other common look. Legend has it that fallen angels' scaffolds like Rakotzbrücke were worked with the assistance of the fiend himself in return for the spirit of the main individual who crosses it. On account of the Saxony Devil's Bridge, the eccentric are of the assessment that people couldn't have achieved the sensitive curve, and accordingly the fiend more likely than not been the person who fabricated it. Fiend's scaffolds are distinctively developed from stone and incorporate Masonic curves. Some accept that Rakotzbrücke turns into an entrance to a different universe when the reflection finishes the extension's circle and a full moon sparkles brilliantly overhead. Number 9, Mount Roraima. Known as the skimming island of Venezuela, Mount Roraima is a level-topped mountain, tepui, situated at where Brazil, Venezuela and Guyana meet. Well before anybody even considered climbing up Mount Roraima, the Pemon Indians living close by viewed it as an unmissable piece of world history. As indicated by legend, an incredible tree that dragged leafy foods for the earth was chopped somewhere around a progenitor of the old Indians. The tree caused a gigantic flood subsequent to colliding with the ground, and its trunk was the lone thing left after the episode. The legend further has it that the storage compartment is Mount Roraima and that the streams streaming into it are the domain of these antiquated individuals. Since the appearance of explorers and vacationers, there have additionally been different reports of UFO sightings, with individuals purportedly having seen odd lights above Mount Roraima. Number 8, Sedona Vortices. Sacrosanct destinations spot the guide around the world. Alongside a portion of these locales, the individuals who are interested may likewise discover vortexes or vortices. These are unique spots, the place where energy is said to either enter the earth or venture outwards from its plane. Probably the most notable and tremendously mainstream vortex destinations remember Glastonbury for southwestern England, Stonehenge in Wiltshire, the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, and the Mayan ruins in Tulum, Mexico. America makes a case for significant energy vortices in the city of Sedona, Arizona. The individuals who take the alleged force of vortices to heart, group to Sedona in large numbers, looking for profound recuperating. The most visited site is the airport Mesa Vortex, where individuals are urged to climb the exhausting way to the top and appreciate the staggering perspectives while paying special mind to huge circles. It is accepted that the airport Mesa Vortex is an upflow territory that empowers your soul to take off to more noteworthy degrees of tranquility. Number 7, Tianmen Mountain. Tianmen Mountain in China is viewed as a sacred mountain. Its sacrosanct standing has been reinforced by the flight of stairs to heaven that includes 999 stages, prompting Tianmen Cave, the world's most noteworthy normally shaped curve. Tianmen Cave is the place where the divine beings meet the human world as indicated by Chinese legend, and it draws in huge number of guests consistently. It is accepted that disintegration brought about by water and soil prompted the development of the cavern. There are 6 secrets accepted to encompass Tianmun Mountain, the specific source of the Tianmun Cave, an apparition picture taken of old strict expert, Guigu, fierce waters in the left precipice of the Tianmun Cave, treasure evidently still covered somewhere near the mountain, the mysterious turning of the Tianmun Cave and the sightings of the auspicious unicorn inside the crude woodlands encompassing the mountain. Number 6, Fiend's Pool. Fiend's Pool in Queensland, Australia is however destructive as it could be shocking. Huge rocks, called the Babinda boulders, fill the riverbed. Rumors have spread far and wide suggesting that a young lady named Oalana from the neighborhood Yindinji tribe, broke her guarantee to remain wedded to an ancestral senior, deciding to flee with a youthful hero, Digger, from another clan. The couple were caught and Digger was removed by the older folks. In her sadness, Oalana hurled herself entirely into the Devil's Pool and her whales turned into the downpours racing through it. Right up till the present time, local people accept that Oalana actually frequents the pool, hauling clueless men to their demise. Since 1959 there have been 19 passings at Devil's Pool, of which 17 were men who suffocated. Native local people recount the account of a youngster who evaporated underneath the water in the wake of kicking at a plaque that honors the individuals who have passed on. In another story, 2 darlings stood together on the stone stage ignoring the pool when a wayward wave cleared them both into the water. The young lady endured, yet her male accomplice didn't. Number 5, Castlerigg Stone Circle. Close to Keswick in Cumbria, northwest England, stands a circle of 38 Neolithic stones. The circle is thought to have been developed as a component of a gigantic custom during the late Neolithic and early Bronze Ages. To date, there have been no broad unearthings at the site and it stays hazy what might be covered underneath the surface and maybe between the stones. Similar as the other stone circles to be found in the UK, it isn't clear precisely what the reason for the Castlerigg Stone Circle was. Specialists are not persuaded that it was an entombment site, with some trusting it might have been lined up with lunar cycles. English artist and rationalist, Samuel Coleridge, referenced the Castlerigg Circle in his compositions in 1799, saying the mountains stand one behind the other, in organized cluster, as though evoked by and mindful to the gathering of white-vested wizards. Number 4, Submerged Cascade. In the terrific plan of history, Mauritius is a moderately youthful island which sits on a sea rack that is raised over seabed level. Off the bank of the island known as Le Morne Peninsula, different shades of blue can be seen in a progressive incline that drops off into a 4,000-meter deep void. Because of the consistent development of sand and sediment along these concealed slants, an optical fantasy of a submerged cascade has been made. The specific site of this deception was at one time the focal point of a neighborhood legend. In 1835, subjection was nullified in Mauritius, and specialists were shipped off a local area of rampant captives to give them the uplifting news. Tragically, the slaves misjudged the abrupt appearance of the police officers and immediately settled on the choice to hurry to the bluffs sitting above the sea and hop into the water, submitting mass self-destruction. This story has been gotten woven into the texture of the foundation story of the Cascade, with some accepting that the spirits of the dead slaves are answerable for the terrific optical figment. Number 3, High-Rise City. Despite the fact that Madagascar is the world's 4th biggest island, it actually took people 300,000 years to find. As featured by the Vivified film, Madagascar, it is home to many lemur species and the greater part the world's chameleons. It is here that you will discover the Avenue of the Baobabs, just as Skyscraper City, also known as the world's biggest stone timberland. The timberland is comprised of limestone spiky dark rocks known as tsingy, which implies stroll stealthily. Its inceptions date back to 200 million years prior, when structural movement pushed a limestone bed upward from the lower part of a tidal pond. Falling ocean levels permitted the pushed-up stone level to get uncovered, and over the long run the timberland appeared. There are a few walkways and scaffolds that permit travelers to get up near the stony miracle, without harming their feet on the sharp shakes. And keeping in mind that it might appear to be a totally aloof climate, you will discover 11 unique types of lemur here. Number 2, the tree on the lake. The appropriately named Fairy Lake in Canada is celebrated for more than its sparkling waters and quiet environment. Out of its actually surface projects one finish of a dead Douglas fir tree log. On top of the log develops another little Douglas fir tree, the log as its lone wellspring of supplements. The little tree is in a persistent battle to endure, and this has motivated numerous a picture taker to archive it on film. From time to time, the water of the lake rises, and covers the tree stump, making the little tree resemble it's drifting simply over the surface. Sightseers have taken to considering the tree the pixie bonsai and regularly line up in the logging street close to the lake to get a brief look at it. Number 1, Skellig-Michael. Skellig-Michael is an island off the shoreline of Kerry Island, which was utilized as an area in the shooting of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The exposure did wonders for vacationer numbers, and by November 2015 the island had gotten its most elevated number of abroad guests ever. Skellig-Michael, which signifies Michael's Rock, is likewise home to a 1,400-year-old safeguarded cloister. There are 2 speeches, a graveyard, and a solid cross on the island. Proof shows that the island had been assaulted by Vikings a few times, which might have caused the priests that lived in the religious community to escape to the terrain. To guarantee the further safeguarding of the delicate cloister, limits have as of late been put on the quantity of vacationers permitted to visit it.